Hello brothers and welcome back to another video. So Henry Cavill at the moment is on his press tour for The Witcher and he's just had a little interview over on IGN. I'll include a link to the IGN video in the description of this video. And the interviewer asked him, what character would you like to play in the Warhammer universe? And this is what he had to say.
There are a lot of characters from the Warhammer universe that I want to be, but I can only really be one. Because once I'm one, then I can't be others. If it were to ever happen, if there were to be anything live action, I would have to be very aware of that. It is obviously character rich, especially the 40k universe. I suppose I could play a different character from the Warhammer Fantasy universe versus the 40k universe, but again, I'm now just dreaming. So I'd have to speak to the guys at Games Workshop and see what happens.
Now, I definitely think Henry has spoken to Games Workshop. There's no evidence to back this up at all, but since Henry is this massive A-list Hollywood actor, Games Workshop would be stupid not to at least try to get in touch with his agent to try and sit down and just discuss something, whether that is an actual show, whether that is just coming down to throw some dice, just to get some pictures outside Warhammer World. It would be a PR dream to have this man, Superman, The Witcher, whatever you want to call him, in front of Warhammer World looking at all the bloody models. Now, the next part of the question in this interview actually has me quite hyped because he speaks about Eisenhorn. The interviewer actually says to him, well, in the next 5 years, you could play a great Eisenhorn. Just listen to this clip and tell me what you think.
5 years, you'd make a very good Gregor Eisenhorn, I think.
That would be exciting, yes, but then I burn Primarchs and the Captain General, so I don't really know.
Now, that little blurb of text really has me excited. For one, I think he actually would make a fantastic Eisenhorn. Not in 5 years, actually right now. Young Eisenhorn, Henry Cavill, I think it would look absolutely fantastic, and it's probably one of the best Warhammer stories, Warhammer characters that we've ever bloody had. I'm sure Cathias Kane and, some other commissars and stuff would maybe... it's up there with great characters, but Eisenhorn, Ravenor, Beckwin, that series is bloody amazing. Now, the thing that really sticks out for me in that quote is he mentions that, well, then he would have to burn Primarchs and the Captain General, which left me a little bit lost because I haven't read Eisenhorn, Ravenor in a while, but I can't recall Ravenor or Eisenhorn or Beckwin even burning a Primarch at all. Like, they've gone against Space Marines and stuff, and they fought against them, they've killed them, but they haven't ever come across a Primarch before. So does he know something that we don't know, maybe about the last Beckwin book, which will include some stuff? Because when he mentioned the Captain General, that actually links to the theory of the Yellow King. For those of you who are not aware, the Yellow King is linked to being Constantine Valdor. That was one of the big spoilers in the last Beckwin book. So for him saying he may have to burn the Captain General, is that linked to the last Beckwin book? Does he know something that we don't know of? Have I just got this completely confused and this entire segment of the video is just me rambling about my confusion? I don't bloody know. What I will say is that I definitely know he's a fan of the series, and of course we all know he's a fan of Warhammer. Like, we was all going mad a couple of months back when he posted a picture that he was on, I think it was on a plane or something, and one of his books he had was Penitent, so we know he's up to date with all the lore of the the Eisenhorn, Ravenor and Beckwin series. Again, if you haven't read these, truly you are missing out. Some of the greatest books which have ever been written in Warhammer 40,000 by the legend who is Dan Abnett, of course. We all know he's a huge Custodian fan as well because he paints Custodians. He's always wearing Custodian merch, so when he's mentioned the Captain General and burning him, I'm sure that's a big thing for him and everything like that. So really, I actually do think that Henry himself has spoken to Games Workshop. I actually do think that there's probably something in the pipeline with Games Workshop and Henry involving something like a series. And I'm going to say it's Eisenhorn, because we had Eisenhorn being spoken about last year. I don't think it's going to be a Warhammer Plus show because apparently Frank Oz is producing it and stuff like that. So it's probably going to go to one of the big boys like Netflix or Amazon or something. And I think Games Workshop would be happy to do that rather than go to Warhammer Plus. Maybe it goes on Warhammer Plus, but it also goes on like Netflix, Amazon, Disney Plus. I don't know. I'm just listing the big ones because that is where the big boys hang out. That is where you start to get notice then when you start doing these TV shows. And to have Henry as like the leading guy in that series, I think that would be absolutely huge. Not only for like Warhammer itself, but for the series itself, because then it attracts a big star. It gets people interested in it. Like, oh, Henry Cavill's in this new thing called Eisenhorn. What's Eisenhorn? People start to watch it. Then they understand what Warhammer is, and then it's just like a circle of like, oh, I'll get some of these models, and it just explodes into all this type of stuff. So yeah, for me personally, I think that Henry has definitely spoken with Games Workshop, and I think maybe that it's going to be involving the Eisenhorn project. Fingers crossed that we actually get some more information about the Eisenhorn project. All we know is that it was in pre-production. We've heard nothing else going forward, but like I said, hopefully very, very soon, maybe sometime next year, we'll get an update on what the hell is going on with that show. All right, Chaprunios, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching, as always. If you've got any thoughts, feedback, anything like that, what you like to see Henry playing 40k, I've always said he's the perfect Valdo. That's just me. He is like the captain general. Look at his bloody chin line, mate. It's just our jawline, should I say. It's just perfectly custodianish. I know a lot of people say the Emperor, but again, the Emperor is a weird character because the Emperor is just basically a ball of psychic light. You can't look at the Emperor or he'll explode if he wants you to. So that's why I always say Constantine Valdo, he has more of a personality, he has more character, and he gets actually stuff done. And he's a badass on the battlefield. Right, enough waffling. See you now. Have a great day. Enjoy yourself, and bye-bye.